Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Jack Stocken's beginner class. I think it'll be a really interesting class with the topic he's got to run through with you this morning, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. For anybody who can't be here, I hope you join us via replay and have a really good time going through the lesson that way. If you have any issues with any tech issues, anything like that, please just use the little icon which is above me. Click here for support and we'll try and sort your problem out as quickly as we can. And we seem to be filling up the classroom pretty quickly, so without further ado, I'll get your teacher on board once we get the recording going. And get the lesson started. I see we do have Jeff back again. He joined us in our other class, which was great. Okay, so without further ado, we'll welcome Jack down to the class.
Morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good. I saw the lesson blurb. I thought, oh, that's going to be very interesting.
Yes, there is something we've just been introduced to last few weeks here in this class. You know, opening at the 2 level, opening at the 3 level. Just I think one thing that's really important, of course, Franny, is that if 2 clubs is always a strong bid in bridge. That's
Exactly.
what we're going to look at in the next few weeks, I think, the 23 plus. So you can never do a week 2 in clubs.
No.
Open 3 clubs, you know, with a 7-card suit, but not 2 clubs. That's the one bit that we reserve for strong hands, isn't it?
It is indeed. All right. Well, I'll say goodbye and pop back a bit later. So
yeah, see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thanks, Franny. There we are. We are practicing week 2 and week 3 openers. Yeah. Yes, I mean, 1 hour doesn't really do justice to a particular topic, especially when it's, slightly harder and new. So when we do a slightly more difficult topic, we do tend to have a little practice. Yeah, I think we all know now that opening at the 3 level universally is a weak preemptive type hand, 7-card suit with a bit of suit quality, 2 honors or more, and 5 to 10 points. Yeah. If your hand passes the rule of 20, open at the 1 level. And week 2 openers are very similar. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades. The only difference is, of course, that they show a 6-card suit. And, of course, 2 clubs is strong always. Responding to week 2 or week 3 is the same strategy. You put up or shut up. Yeah. So put up if you have 3-card support for opener suit, and really 0 plus points, although vulnerability would come into that. Be more cautious when vulnerable. And then bidding to the level of the fit. It's a relatively new expression for most of us. But what it is you add the number of cards your side has together in total and bid to that number of total tricks. So if partner opens 2 spades and you have 3 cards in spades as responder, then support with 3 spades, knowing that you've got 9 spades between you equals 9 tricks. That's bidding to the level of the fit, the 9 level. Yeah. Okay, so let's put the theory into practice. I've opened 2 spades, and good etiquette, if you're playing face-to-face bridge, is for South to say to the table, weak. Yeah. North must never say anything. Yeah, it'd be wrong for them to mention what they're doing. Otherwise, they might as well show you their cards. But yes, what do we bid, if anything, with this hand here? 10 points. Online, of course, is relatively easy. You just alert your own bids. And where are we? Oh, warm welcome if you're watching in replay as well. I know many of you do. Can't make this particular time of 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. And one or two special guests as well from other classes. But yes, we bid 3 spades here. It's not, I repeat, not an invitation to game. No, purely just bidding to level. North opener would never bid again. It just makes life more difficult for the opponents, you know. They're going to have to bid at the 4 level now if they want to bid. I've opened 3 diamonds, 7 card suit, weak. 5 to 10 points. What would you bid, if anything, with that? As responder. Well, you know, partner's got 7 diamonds, you've got 4. That's 11 diamonds. You bid to that 11 trick level. I mean, the opponents have clearly got 4 spades on here, or 4 hearts. They might even have a slam on, you know, 6 spades or 6 hearts. So by bidding to 5 diamonds here, you're going to make it so much harder for them. It's a spoiling bid. We're not expecting to make 5 diamonds. I'd be expecting to go, you know, 2 or even 3 down. But that's better than them making, you know, game in hearts or spades or even slam here. And sometimes they don't even double you either. There we go. Bidding to the level of the fit. Let's play hand 1 on BBO. I'm sure you're all going to open 3 spades. You don't need to alert it. They're all natural bids. And anything from North. What have they got? 15 points? Morning, Mo. Morning, Charlotte. Richard, Roger, Jeff's in Wellington. That's New Zealand, by the way. I know my geography is not very good, but he told me in the previous class Wellington's in New Zealand. Well, I think we did talk about this, did we not? Adding up useful points. Did we talk about useful points? That if you've got 12 points in aces and kings, you can raise to game? I think we did. We did, Mo. Yes, thanks for the confirmation. So it's a good gadget. It doesn't work if partner opens 3 of a minor, because then the main consideration is bidding 3 no trumps. You don't really want to be in 5 clubs or 5 diamonds if you can help it. But useful points, I'll just count with partners. Yeah, if someone opens 3 hearts or 3 spades, you're thinking about going to 4, add up the useful points, which is just the aces and kings. And if it comes to 12 or more, then bid game. Yeah, those aces and kings are very useful when partners won't have any. Far more useful than quacks. Queens and jacks. I'm sure you're all going to need the Queen of Diamonds, top of a sequence. Good. Well, just looking at the hand. Yeah, what am I thinking? I'm thinking whether to draw trumps or not. I'm also looking at losers. How many losers have we got? Yeah, how many losers have we got? It's something you can start to think about, I think. We have been playing bridge over 6 months now. Sorry, learning it, since most of us learnt in October. But how many losers have we got? It takes a while to get used to this. But I think it's something we can now start doing. Counting your losers in 4 spades. How many do you think we've got? Slightly for the more experienced players. Yeah, no, I will say some of you probably still don't get losers. It's quite hard. Might take a few weeks or months to get the hang of it. But you go through a neat suit, looking at it from declarer's point of view, at the dummy. So how many losers in spades, for example? Then you move on to hearts, clubs, then diamonds. If you don't get it, don't worry, because it is slightly for the more experienced, and it's something I don't think we've done much of. I think we've got king of spades to lose, no hearts, ace king of clubs to lose, and a diamond magic. Yes, I would be expecting 4 losers there. But if you don't get it, yeah, we've got plenty of time to practice it. It's something that we'll be practicing over the coming weeks and months a bit more. I wouldn't bother doing it in no trumps. No trumps is a different strategy. But in a trump contract, 4 level and above, it's quite a good thing to start doing, or trying to do. Right, so we win with the ace of diamonds. And what next? We're in the dummy. Any suggestions? Should we draw trumps or not? I think the key thing to realise is that when we can play 1 round of trumps, that's not going to do us any harm. But what next? Is there a way, I think what I'd be thinking about here, is there a way of getting rid of that losing 6 of diamonds? Because if we lose the lead again, they're going to take the king of diamonds fairly quickly. Any ideas? Void and declare NJ is something we don't try and do, by the way. No. Those of you who are trying to create a void and declarer's hand, that is a no-no. No, we only ever try and create a void in dummy, which we can't do. It won't help us to trump loads of, losing hearts in our own hand. We're going to make those trumps anyway, you see. The queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 6 of spades. Richard wants to be reminding how many useful points opposite a preempt of 3 hearts or 3 spades. Richard, 12 or more, like an opening hand. So very well done if you played the ace of hearts, swiftly followed by the king, look. And we wave goodbye to that diamond loser. Bye-bye. Now we trump a heart. This won't give us extra tricks, but it will get us back to hand. Where are we? So we can draw the last trumps out. They would try to cash their king of diamonds, but we can rough it. Draw the last trump. And just knock out the ace king of clubs. Their best defense is continue diamonds, but we've still got some trumps left. Now the jack of clubs loses to the king. Come back a heart. But we trump it. We've got 1 trump left, which is lucky. And crucially, that 10 of clubs is our 10th trick. Well done, everyone. 420. 4 spades, bid and made. That is the objective of bridge. And note there that the key play really there was discarding losing diamond. It's one of the few exceptions when we don't draw trumps, if we can discard a certain loser. We draw 1 round of trumps, that didn't do us any harm, but we could not afford to lose the lead. That's why we had to do it early doors. Good. And then we just, at the end, knocked out the ace king of clubs to set up the 10. And let's go back to the classroom. The virtual classroom. Oh, we're playing lots of hands today. Well, it's all about practice, isn't it? So that would make sense. Madeline's got a good question. Just before we go on, she's asking why do we not create a void and declare as hand? Well, the thing is, Madeline, you're going to make those long trumps anyway. Yeah, you can't make them twice. It's quite a good question. People do ask it quite a lot, and they don't often understand it until they become more experienced. So if you're not understanding it, you're not alone, anyone. But it's the trumps on dummy, you see, we have to utilize, because if you draw them, they're gone. They're toast. So you might as well use them for creating the void. That's why. But if you don't fully understand it. Now, what does South open here? 10 points? Well, it's a classic week 2, isn't it? I'm even going to alert it because you would do playing online. 11 points, they're not strong enough to double or anything like that. North, 9 points, anything from North? Hope you had a good Easter. Shauna was on earlier. She's in charge of the WhatsApp groups for playing on BBO. I think most of you either are playing on BBO or have Shauna's email. But if you don't have it, let me know. She does a beginner improver WhatsApp group. I say she does. She just adds you to the list. You organise your own games. 3 hearts is level of the fit. Anything from East with 10 points? The answer, Richard, and others, is no. Now, East is close to a takeout double. This would be a takeout double, by the way, asking partner to bid. But we don't have 12 points or more. It's close. They've got nice shape. SOS, we don't have 12 points or more, and we're vulnerable to boot. But this would be a takeout double. I think that's important. The golden rule of double is if partner has passed or not yet bid, then double is for takeout, asking them to bid. Okay, but we can't quite do that, so we pass. Automatic pass from opener. That's the final contract. And again, Queen of Diamonds led. Right, well, thank you, partner, for the dummy. I'm just deciding whether to draw trumps. Well, I might count losers as well. Now, well, 3 hearts is borderline, but we can count losers. I'd be counting 3 in spades and 2 in clubs. No, we don't add on points to distribution, Richard. Good question from Richard. No, we don't add on points for singletons and voids in bridge. Yeah, the only time we do, Richard, is when we have a fit with partner. That's something called the losing trick count, which comes at a later date. Well, because we might lose the 3rd round of spades, Magic. That's why. So 2/3, really. Right, well, win with the ace. What do we do at trick 2? The lead is in dummy, do you think? Do we draw trumps or do we not? To draw or not to draw? That is the question. Yeah, I did read Shakespeare when I was younger, a student. But I don't think I'd really call myself a student, to be honest with you. Nor would my teachers. But I've ended up teaching bridge, so there you go. It's all worked out well in the end. Are you going to draw trumps or not? Place your bets. Morning, Holly Pines, Val P, NJ. Well, we're going to do a lesson on this. I haven't told you this yet, but I'm on a good time to tell you now. I'm in a mystery location next week, but the good news is I'm still going to teach you a live lesson because I'm actually teaching bridge in the morning, so I can't do it at the normal time. So next week's class will be at 1 o'clock lunchtime on the 15th. There's no class at 9:30 next Wednesday, and there's no class at 11. But I do like to give you a live class. After I finish teaching on my bridge holiday, I will give you a live class on trumping and dummying. So this is a little precursor. The main time you don't draw trumps is when you have a suit that is longer in declarer's hand than dummy. Is that the case here? Answer yes or no. And which suit? Not trumps, of course. Do we have a suit longer in declarer's hand than dummies? We are going to practice this next week with our class at 1 o'clock. I think Bashir will give you a reminder on the LBO email. Yes, because next month you officially become improvers. No more beginner/improvers. You will officially be improvers, and you'll move to the more friendly slot of 9:30 on a Wednesday morning, which is more user-friendly than 11. Right, so we have a suit longer in our own hand, so it will be right to create the void. And this might involve losing a trick or two. What do you think West does now to try and counteract this fiendish plan that Declare has now hatched? What do you think they might play, having won the Jack of Spades as West? Yes, and when you become improvers, I have said this before, I keep saying it, you still will be learning at a nice structure. You won't be deviating or doing lots of difficult stuff. You'll still be going in a very structured path. This course is very structured for you. Well, if I said the words "if in doubt," followed by "trump about," they would switch to a trump. To try and take the trumps off the table. To try and thwart Declarer's plan. So second player play low. Winning. Quite often beginners, improvers, they're nervous about losing tricks early on. But quite often it's the right thing to do. Yeah, you're going to lose them sometime. Yeah, generally the expression is, if you're going to lose a trick, lose it early. And this is particularly true when playing no trumps. That's why we play like a tortoise, not the hare. Now, what card do we play next from Declarer, having won the trump lead in hand? Well, it's back to plan A, isn't it? And plan A was creating the void in spades. Again, another trump card. This is good defense, by the way, especially now because we're doing the good old 2 for 1, which I used to call the supermarket special when they did 2 for 1. They don't anymore. But we're drawing 2 of Declarer's trumps for 1 of ours. That's nearly always a good thing to do. We just marvel at that for a moment, what we've just done. So if we'd have drawn trumps, there'd be no trumps left in the dummy. We'd have lost 3 spade tricks. But utilizing those trumps, we have managed to create an extra trick. We have trumped a losing spade. That's a trick we'd never otherwise get. So it's important to focus on that. If you find trumping and dummy hard, it is one of the harder things. It's a bit like, some people find finessing harder than others. We are doing a lesson on trumping and dummy next week. Now we can play the King of Diamonds. We're not making an extra trick now by roughing in hand, yeah, but we are getting back to our hand to draw the last trump. That's why we did that. And now, what do? We play a club. But we have the last two tricks, look. With our trump. So we are going to make 3 hearts on the nose. Don't always go down when, you know, when you bid to the level of the fit. The opponents would have made 3 spades easily, but, you know, impossible, very hard for them to get there. Yeah, they make 3 spades easily. So a triumph for the level of the fit, making 140 there. Let's have another hand. All about playing hands today and practicing. Hands are slightly harder than normal. Yeah, give you a bit of a challenge, but very well done. If on that last hand, without any prompting, you realised that you had to play a couple of losing spades. So I think that's quite hard. It's not something we've done a huge amount of. Right. Would you open on the south hand? 7 clubs, 7 points. Just one thing, Jane. 2 club openers, not Stamen, no. The 2 club openers, 23 points or more, artificial, just to be clear. We're going to look at that in a few weeks' time. Yes, the classic 3 clubs. The 10 is an honour, remember. Don't need to alert it. Anything from North with their 11 points? Yes, Jeff's got a good question. He's asking, does the 10 of clubs count as an honour for a preempt? It does, Jeff. The 10 does count as an honour if you're overcalling or preempting, yes. Good question from Jeff there. It's in Wellington in New Zealand. It's 10 o'clock at night over there. Probably about the same time for Franny as well, I think. Does North bid anything? As responder. Richard's asking, how many honours do you need? You just need 2 honours, Richard, yeah. 2 honours will do. And remember the expression, of course, it's put up or shut up, opposite a preempt. Queen of spades is the standard lead, promising the jack, top of a sequence. And I wouldn't bother counting losers here. There's too many in a 3-level contract. I only really do it at 4-level and above. But are we going to draw trumps? That's the key question. Well, we win with the ace of spades. Why not? And which card do we play from dummy? Again, this is something that just comes with experience, you know, knowing whether to draw trumps or not. There's about 3 or 4 times when we don't. We're going to be looking at one next week, the main time. Which card do we play now from the dummy, having won with the ace of spades? And it really just is practice. The more you play and practice, the easier things like finessing become, the easier trumping and dummy becomes, etc. Yes, teachers sometimes say the 3 most important words when learning bridge: practice, practice, and guess what? Practice. Yeah, so let's create the void in dummy. Good idea. what would East return? What would an experienced East return? The same with dancing, says Valpy. I imagine it's the same with most kind of hobbies and activities, really, isn't it? Sporting activities, although my paddle game never seems to get any better, and nor does my golf. Even though I practice quite a lot. I think it's flatline. Am I skiing? No, that's going slightly downhill. Pardon the pun. And it's irritating for skiers amongst us when the children start skiing faster than you. That happened a while ago. Right, so what would expect back to reality of bridge? What do you think East would do next, having won the ace of diamonds, looking at the dummy? Always look at the dummy for clues. Maggie, we should have a game of golf together, you and I. I don't have an official handicap. I think round about 18, but I don't often play to it, more like 24. Well, given that there's a void in diamonds in the dummy, if I said the words to you, if in doubt, what do you think you might do? Should we ever get out of jail free? We had one for the class earlier. Why don't you have one? If in doubt, trump about. So an experienced East would play a club there. Try and take those trumps off the dummy. But it's okay. We can win with the ace. And what do we do next? Definitely not the right time to play low. If we played low, they'd win and return another club. There'd be no clubs left. Morning, Amanda. Morning, Jane. Morning, Valpy. A few hellos. Said hello to Richard, I think. And Jeff. Jeff joined us earlier, actually. You can always promote yourself to improve a class if you want. We just did responders rebid, a really useful lesson. Quite a lot in it. That was at 9:30 this morning, responders rebid. Yes, well, let's make use of the void. Yeah, if we don't mind. Before they take that final club off the table. That's an extra trick. Should we just marvel at it for a second? Or two? Yeah. That's a trick we'd never get if we drew trumps first. We'd lose two diamond tricks. Now we play the ace of hearts. We're not going to make extra tricks. It's important. We're not going to make extra tricks by trumping in our own hand. But we are using it as a method to get back to our own hand. So we can play, well, what should we play now? Which card should we play from our own hand? Declare it. Morning, Madeleine. Mo, many of our regulars who've been with us since the beginning of October. And the good news is you can stay with us throughout the summer, but there'll be a different start time, as I say, for middle of May, 9:30 in the morning. So I think will suit your summer schedule better as well. Means you can free up most of the day. It used to always be 11 o'clock, but I changed the improvers to 9:30 as a permanent fixture, as it is on Monday mornings at 9:30. We've got unfinished business to do. I don't like playing the King of Diamonds, no, because it might get trumped. Yeah. So let's draw out the last trumps. Pleased to see they divide evenly. They'd switch to a spade. But we can rough it. Cash the King of Diamonds. It's a winner. And I think we can claim the last three tricks, can't we? I advise you not to claim, though. Definitely beginners, improvers, even intermediates. I think you should play the cards out to the end, almost certainly. Unless you're playing with robots, who aren't going to argue with you. But you can get into a mess sometimes if you start claiming. And also, if you're playing duplicate bridge, where every trick counts, you know, you might make some extra tricks. They might throw the wrong thing away. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of not claiming, unless it's against robots. And here we've got 3 winning trumps. We've made +1. 130. Crucially there, crucial takeaway from that hand was roughing the diamond in dummy. That gave us an extra trick. Again, some of you definitely will be have a bit of a smoke screen about trumping in dummy. Bridge students do. It's just something you'll get used to eventually. Might take a few weeks or the odd month or two. Trumping in dummy, a bit like finessing. You know, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Another practice hand for you. Today, I believe that the worksheet will consist of these hands with a commentary on both the bidding and the play. So it'll be useful for you to download that, the worksheet from today's lesson. And you've got 2 playable hands as well. So you can play 2 of these hands out yourself, see how you got on. Right, where are we? East is the opener. Would you open with the East hand? What have you got? 7 points? Yeah, 2 diamond open. I'm even going to alert it. You should do online. Anything from West with their 8 points? Well, they are vulnerable, but they can just bid. Well, I'll tell you in a second. Just wait for the answers to come through. I wonder how you're getting on in replay in this practice session. Next week, we are doing trumping in dummy at 1 o'clock. Won't affect those watching in replay. Yes, here we go. 3 diamonds. Knowing they've got 9 between them. And anything for North as the overcaller. 15 points. Well, if I gave you a clue, it's a bit that some bridge players forget quite often, especially beginners or improvers. Does North satisfy SOS for a takeout double? I'm afraid one bid we can't make is 3 no trump because we have no stopper in diamonds. Yeah, 3 no trumps would definitely show a stopper in diamonds. I think we're familiar with the word stopper, are we? I think. You know, an ace or a king in diamonds, yeah. But it does satisfy. Very well done if you did this of your own accord. A takeout double. We're short in diamonds, 12 points or more, and support for the other 3 suits. So well done if you found a double there. Automatic pass from East. Now over to South. What would you do? Anything? Would you do anything with the South hand, if anything? 10 points. Well, it's interesting. And as Charlotte has just said, you have to bid. Well, the occasional time you pass, but you should be bidding. Partner's asking you to bid. But what do you bid? What is the most practical bid? What do you think I'm going to say? Richard's trying to second guess me. Have we talked about Bob Hammond at all, by the way? Bob Hammond, American Grandmaster. Some of you might heard me talk about him in other classes. Bob Hammond. Just write his name in. How do I spell it? H-A-M-M-A-N. American Grandmaster. I talked to you about him. His famous expression. Any of you know his famous expression? Probably put it into the internet. Yes, Maggie. Well, yes, his expression is if there is a choice of bids, and that choice of bid is 3 no trumps, then bid 3 no trumps. Well done, Val and Maggie. They'll have picked it up from another class, probably. So what do you think we're going to bid now, given that expression? And the thing is about bidding 4 clubs here, because it is no man's land, isn't it? It's not game. You're missing out on 3 no trumps. So Bob Hammond, I do talk about him occasionally. You can Google him if you want more information. Legendary kind of American Grandmaster. He's won a few World Championships, I think. But he loves bidding 3 no trumps. And he's right. It's often the right bid to make. Crucially, though, I think this is important for the class. You must have a stopper in diamonds. Their suit. Otherwise, they take the first 6 tricks. And what's the opening lead from West? Melanie, you're too modest. But yes, I think Bob did play the 3 no trumps pretty well, given that he's won 2 World Championships. Right, what's the lead from West? And here we've got 2 diamond stoppers. We're very happy to be in 3 no trumps. 4 clubs would be no man's land. Well, we generally lead the lowest of partner suit. But definitely leading partner suit, everyone. They bid diamonds. It does keep them in a good mood if you lead partner suit. Never play too quickly at trick 1. It's obvious we're going to play a low diamond, but counting certain tricks, have you done that? It's a really good habit to get into. Shouldn't take long now. Looking for the extras. We'll come on to the crucial 3rd stage in a minute. No, it isn't, Richard. No. It's highest if you've got a doubleton, high, low. But if you've got 3 cards or more, low from an honour. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to count 6 certain tricks here because we're bound to make 2 diamonds on the lead. So we need to find some extras. 3rd player play high. Winning with the ace. Now, which card do we play as declarer at trick 2? Well, we do have gold dust, don't we? That 5-card suit is gold dust. And it's nearly always right in no trumps to go for the gold dust first. So well done. 2 of clubs. And which one from the dummy? Yes, clear to play the jack, a winning finesse. Well done, 50-50. Now which card from dummy? Yes, hopefully some or a few of you are managing to practice on BBO with fellow online students. That's really good fun and really good for your game of bridge. Those who can't do that for whatever reason, you've got the Fun Bridge app, which is good. You've got the ACL Bridge app that I recommended. And lots of free games on BBO as well against robots. We've got to stick with the clubs, but do we play the ace or the 3? I have been going on about this over the coming weeks, over the last few weeks and months. Well, remember, it's the higher card from the shorter holding, otherwise the suit will be blocked. Actually, we'll keep a spade, chuck a heart. It's called Bridge, the Acol Bridge app, I think, Jeff. I'll let you know in due course exactly what it's called. We search for it in the shop. Right, now the club. To the king. Now what? Let me just see for Jeff exactly what it's called. There you go. Jeff and others, Bridge Begin Acol, it's called, yeah. It looks a bit like that. Where are we, everyone? So we're back on with the clubs. Well, if I said the words lose to win to you, would that help? Yeah, it's a free app, the Bridge Begin Acol, Jeff and others. Lose to win. Well, there's a winning queen of clubs out there. You know West has got it. So that's a good move. Lose to win. You see, we're losing to the queen of clubs, but now the 9 of clubs is win. They would return diamonds. But we can win with the queen of diamonds, cash our 9 of clubs. And now we're still a trick short. So we play the 3 of hearts. And which one from the dummy? We've got our target up to 8 tricks, but we do need a 9th. Well, it's heart in mouth time. West did not play speeds, Melanie. Well, it's good to keep on with partner's suit to try and establish that as length winners. Yeah, that king of spades won't run away. Also dangerous because declarer might have the ace and the queen. But yeah, best to keep on with partner's suit and no trumps. So we must risk the finesse, 50-50. And luckily for us, it wins. Cash the ace of hearts now. King of hearts is a winner, of course. And we lose the last few tricks. But that's fine because we've made 9 tricks. There you go. 400, yeah. Tricky hand, that. Key thing, I think, was a couple of key things. First of all, remembering to play the top of a doubleton, higher card from the shorter holding. So finesse to the jack of clubs, then play the ace. Otherwise, the suit would be blocked. And the second key play, really, was still in the club suit, was lose to win. Yeah, letting West win the queen of clubs, but then established our 9 of clubs as winner. And finally, at the end, we had to risk that heart finesse to make our game 50-50. Right, let's play one more hand. Good to go through these hands in detail at a relatively slow pace. Well, I hope you think it's a slow pace. Right. East is the opening bidder here. Do they bid anything with their 5 points? So I think we've talked about next week. Yeah, we're slightly later. We're 1 o'clock next Wednesday. Hope you can join us. If not, you can watch it in replay, of course. It's a classic 2-diamond opener. Two spades, overcall from south is fine with a good 5-card suit. And what next for West, if anything? Responding to partner's 2-diamond opener. Well, non-vulnerable, great shape. You've got 11 diamonds between you, East and West. We bid to that level of the fit. Let's make life difficult for the ops. And North. Anything more for North, do you think? Well, double is an option, which would be for penalties, by the way, saying you don't think they can make 5 diamonds, but you've got a great fit, haven't you, in spades? Partner's bid 2 spades, showing at least 5. I think North competes with 5 spades here. No, I like 5 spades, especially vulnerable. You know, if you make 5 spades, you'll score 650. Lovely hand. Look at it, 15 points. Preemptor doesn't bid again. That's important. The preemptor doesn't bid again, having opened 2 diamonds. Right, and the opening lead would be a diamond. High for hate. Right, well, interesting. How are we going to try and make 5 diamonds? What do they do at trick 2, do you think? What does East do, having won the ace of diamonds? I think, yes, I agree with you. I think if in doubt, trump about. One thing I wouldn't do is play back a diamond. It's playing to the void. So let's go back a trump. Yeah, well done. If in doubt, trump about. Right, so we draw the last trump. Now what do you think? Interesting, isn't it? We can afford to lose one more trick. We're definitely going to lose a heart. And the club looks like a bit of a guess. We really need to find the queen of clubs. Well, what we can do here, rather than commit ourselves to the club finesse straight away, it's a bit of a 50-50 guess, to be honest with you. We could play the 8 of clubs, number 8, to the 10, if we think West has the Queen of clubs. Or we could go to dummy and play, the 9 of clubs to the Jack, finessing. So we've got in clubs, we've got what we call a two-way finesse position. Yeah. Most finesses are probably generally just one way. There's just one way. But here, because you've got the 10 and the 9 and the Jack and the 8, you can finesse both ways. But we're going to do something rather clever here. We're going to play out the Ace of Hearts. Now we're going to play the King of Hearts. And what are we going to do next? Slightly for our more experienced players, this one. Obviously, we've got a wide range in our class of experience, which is true in all the other classes too. What next, do you think? We're on the dummy with the King of Hearts. So yes, in the mystery location, I will be packing a suitcase on Monday. It does involve a flight. And it is a working holiday, I'll have you know. Well, the expression, if you're going to lose a trick, lose it early, comes into play now. You're always going to lose a heart, so let's put the opponents on play. See if they can help us out. And the answer is, yes, they can help us out. This is what we call, and it's a more advanced technique, this, that we teach the intermediates on a Monday morning. It's known as end play. So East either plays the diamond, which would be wrong, because then we get a ruff and a discard. The losing club goes away. We no longer have to finesse the queen. So in practice, they wouldn't do that, play to the void. That's a bad idea. They'd play a club, but they're opening up the club suit for us. They're doing our hard work for us as defenders. We no longer have to find the queen because we can play a low one there. They have to play the queen to force out the ace. And there is no need now to take that 50-50 club finesse. So by courtesy of an end play, we are going to make 5 spades. But definitely for the more experienced, that one. Got a bit of fun. Winning heart. And we're home and dry with 3 trump winners. I'm actually at 650 because we are vulnerable. 500 for the game bonus. Good. Well, that concludes the practice of week 2s and 3s. Let's just go back to the classroom to finish off. Just remember 3 things. Opening at the 2 level, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, or 2 spades is 6 card suit and 5 to 10 points. Opening at the 3 level is exactly the same, but with a 7 card suit. And finally, as responder, support partner with 3 or 4 cards, even with no points, but you can be a bit more cautious, vulnerable. Bid to the level of the fit. Right, well, it's 11:59. That's the end of the show.
Well, that was a pretty intense session, wasn't it? Oh, dear.
Yes, well, I think everyone's got the idea now of this preempting though at the 2 level, Franny.
Yeah. I think when you're new, you feel a bit heart in mouth, don't you?
But I love preempting. I love my favorite preempt of all is good night, Jeff. Yes, it's quite late for Jeff. He's on the night shift, a bit like you, Franny.
He did 2 lessons tonight. That was good.
He did. He's done well. It's 11 o'clock for him. Is it 11 o'clock for you as well, presumably?
No, I'm 9 p.m. So he's
9.
Yeah, he's something else again.
He's burning the midnight oil. Thank you, MJ, Richard. Richard, that's good that you were wrong so many times. That really is. I often say to students who get many answers wrong, that's a good thing, Franny, because they're learning from their mistakes.
There, that's inevitable too, isn't it?
And it's far better to make mistakes here in the classroom where no one minds, rather than in open play, with your partner or against real live opponents. Richard, you're doing well with it. Yes, never too late to learn bridge. Good, Amanda. Yes, making mistakes is a good thing in a nice, friendly environment. We're all learning together. So, Franny.
So next week for the class, you're travelling.
Correct. I'm away. It's a mysterious location.
It's an amalgamated class.
Yes. I can't teach in the mornings, but in the Wednesday morning, because I'm teaching the students in the mystery location. There's 60 of them. I know it's quite a big undertaking, and that'll be a live face-to-face lesson from the hotel. But yes, but I thought the students would like a live lesson, not a pre-recorded one. So 1 o'clock we'll have a really good lesson on trumping and dumming. I
think that will be an excellent lesson.
Always is. It's such a useful skill to have.
Yeah,
it's a very useful skill to have up your sleeve.
All right, well, that's fabulous. So next week, different time, and you have a good week, especially with your challenging students. 60, good heavens.
Yes, well, I'm quite prepared for next week. We're still on school holidays, so I'm with the children tomorrow, which will be nice. And yes, and I'm teaching face-to-face on Friday, Franny. I'm going to a private house and teaching 8 ladies.
Oh, wow. Your name must be out there.
I've been teaching this group for about 10 years, so they're one of the few groups I teach face-to-face, but there's a lot of drinking of coffee and chatting.
Oh, very pleasant.
So yes, it's hardly what I would call work. Franny, have a good week yourself.
Yes.
Just remind me who's sleeping behind you. Is it Gaynor or Ned?
We've got Ned, the Tenterfield.
Ned.
And we've got Gloria here. Hello.
Oh, let's have a look at Gloria again, because Gloria likes to give me a nice smile.
Here she is. There she is. Hello.
Oh, Gloria doesn't look. Oh, Gloria looks really angry.
No, she always looks like that.
She always looks like that. I love the facial expression, but they do sometimes say, Franny, that it's in the press. They say cats kind of really want to kill their owners, secretly. Is that true of Gloria or not?
No, she's very easygoing.
I love cats.
She's a very beautiful cat. Actually, I had a look at her papers today, and she's 13.
13? Oh,
that's quite old, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a decent age. But as you know, cats can live, quite long. Really, they can live up to about 20, I think.
Oh dear.
Okay. Well, listen.
All right, we'll see you again next week, and I'm glad everyone enjoyed the class. It was really excellent.
Yeah, no, there's been a great turn up. Lots of nice comments, Franny, and we'll be a bit later for you next week, but it'll be a mystery location, so always looking forward to that.
And I think that this class will enjoy joining in the other class and merging in. It'll be quite enjoyable.
They're getting ready. Yes, you're right. They're getting ready for their merger, which will happen next month in May when they get promoted to improvers. So I'm looking forward to that. And 9:30 in the morning it's a more sociable time to learn bridge, really. So I think all's good.
All right. Well, we'll see you all then. Bye.
Yeah, have a great week.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Jack's mum.
What's happening here?